Hey, how's it going, everybody? Just wanted to come back with a new video. It's a beautiful spring day here, so just washed the car and it's looking really good. And I figured, there's one other accessory I wanted to talk about, and the weather's perfect. The car looks great, so thought it was a good time to do it. So the last couple of videos I've posted, we talked about some of the accessories for the inside of the car, and then as well as these mud flaps down here, which have been great. I've left them on. The wheel caps I've left on. So far, everything I've reviewed and I've kind of shown has worked out great for me. No issues at all, so I've really been enjoying it. But there was one other that I saw in there, and you'll know from the title of the video, it's going to be the spoiler that only comes with the plaids as of now. And as we've discussed before, the only difference with the plaid and the long range is going to be the carbon fiber interior, obviously the speed, brake calipers, and then the spoiler those are kind of the biggest things that's different. But so I have it right here, and the one that I decided to go with was the matte black. There's also or matte carbon fiber, I should say. There's also a gloss version of this. Which, gloss, I considered it just because the trim is actually a gloss black. That's the one that comes factory from Tesla. And it's funny because, these wheel caps that I have here are actually also matte, but they're just freshly washed and they have a tire shine. So you can almost get an idea of what it would look like gloss, which again, doesn't look bad. But since those are matte, I kind of try to find videos online. There was a couple of, the matte black versus the gloss, and I think the matte just looks really good. So today we're going to talk about how to put it on. It's super straightforward. As you can see here, it's just 3M tape that's holding it. So really all that you have to worry about is make sure that it's centered properly, and that it adheres really good, which again, being a warm day out here, it worked out. Generally speaking, 3M isn't as effective on a really cold day. It takes a little bit longer. One thing I wanted to do though, it's hard to see a lot of before and after comparisons. So there's not a spoiler on this car, but it does the trunk does protrude a little bit, so it kind of gives almost like a wing effect, like it does have a spoiler. But I wanted to pop this on. It'll actually just pop on without taping it. For those that want to see it back and forth, so maybe I'll do a side by side. Oh, it's upside down. That's another thing. It's there's no really instruction that's come with this, but you'll see that. Let's see if I can visualize it here. It's kind of hard to tell, but on the top half or the bottom half sticks out a little bit more, and it's actually designed to hug back here. So then there's no way you could put it on backwards. It wouldn't even stay. You would know right away. So I'm just gonna eyeball it for now. It looks close enough. So I just kind of placed it there. It already holds. It's such a minor addition, but it I don't know, it seems to complete the look, at least in my opinion. Let's look at it from a side profile. Yeah, so it gets that existing, where it protrudes, and it just accentuates a little bit more. Yeah, let me get kind of as much of a side profile as I can. Yeah, see, because of Tesla's sleek design, kind of just goes over it, just that little extra on the edge. I think it looks really good, and considering it's so easy to put on, and it's just a one and done thing. This is kind of from the other side, so I'm gonna go ahead and get my tape measure, and then we'll see how we can put this on. Which, already just looking at it this way, it almost looks dead center, but obviously measuring it, you can get it exactly right. So let me go grab that, and then we'll be right back. All right, I got my little measuring tape out here. So the way I was doing it, I just kind of lined it up here flat, and you want to check both sides. You want to get it as close as possible as you can. So I kind of eyeballed it, then I did a few adjustments. But after measuring it here, it's pretty close. Or it's basically right on. So in an ideal world, if you have blue painter's tape, I think the best way to do is to mark this here on both sides, so then you know exactly where to where to place the spoiler. And luckily it fits pretty snug, so it won't accidentally, you know, rotate either direction like this or even this way. I mean, it's pretty flat. All you got to worry about is where it needs to go left and right. I don't have painter's tape, so I just am going to use regular Scotch tape, a little piece of it. It won't be on there very long, so it won't damage the paint or anything. And I'll just barely, just enough to give me like a marking here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now, and then I'll come back. All right, I got my tape on there. Again, if I had painter's tape, it'd be a little better, but the idea is just to put it as close to the edge as you can. That way you can pop it off, and then remove the 3M, remove the sealing layer here. You can see it's a double sealed here. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove that and then place it back on. All right, so I got the seal removed. So then the trick here is to get it as close as possible to the edges here, which I'm actually gonna use both hands, so give me 2 seconds. Okay, I'm still lining it up here, but one thing that's great is if you don't push in all the way, you can still move it left and right by tiny amounts to make sure it's perfectly on. So I just did that, and now it's right on the edge of the tape on both sides. I'm just make sure. Yep, okay. So now that it's lined up, now I can actually push into it so it can attach to the trunk of the car itself, and I can already feel it grabbing. And once I kind of more or less have an idea where it's at, I'm gonna grab my, I'll just throw this away in a second. Grab a microfiber cloth or any kind of towel you may have, and just kind of work this in as much as you can. This is what actually activates the 3M tape. So as I'm going through, I'm also pressing in and just kind of rubbing it across as I'm pushing in. And I'm using the towel so that, you know, your hand's a little bit grippier. I don't want to accidentally slide it left or right, and you can see it's still aligned there really good. It's a tiny bit of movement, but it's already firm. I'm just being extra, make sure it attaches, because the 3M lines the entire spoiler. So I want to make sure it's on there all the way across the board. And I can already confirm that it's not moving, so I can go ahead and remove these, no problem whatsoever. So if Scotch tape is all you have, I can confirm that works as well. But yeah, I'm gonna do that a little bit for a couple more minutes, but already I'm happy with the decision. The hardest thing is just getting a before and after. And you know, obviously if this isn't your car color, it's harder to get a good gauge, but I think especially just kind of from most angles, the funny thing is even the mud flaps kind of give it a wider, more aggressive look. But I love the black accents. It just kind of completes the look, I think. Yeah, very nice looking. If you're in the market for one, I highly recommend this one. You can look into the gloss too if that's your style, but I'm a big fan of this color combination, and of course, you know, the XPEL Stealth, which is the satin wrap paint protection that I got on there. Awesome, guys. Well, if there's any questions, let me know in the comments. I'll have this link down below. You'll see a referral code to get 20% off of this, which I think it's actually a really good deal. These aren't too expensive, and especially if you compare it to, you know, the OEM part, which this is identical to. You know, I think it ends up being a great deal. And, you know, it ships pretty quickly for those that are wondering about that. But if you have any other questions, let me know. By the time this video goes out, I would have had this for a little while, so maybe I can give a few more insights. So, yeah, if you have any other questions, let me know. I think maybe one thing that comes to mind right now is like a car wash or something. You know, I prefer the 2-bucket method over there, hand washing when I can. But I bet even in a car wash, this will probably hold on, no problem. Just kind of what I'm feeling here. It's not budging at all anymore. So, good deal. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you on the next one.